Hey folks, welcome back here to our Week 7 NFL picks here on the VegasDon channel. It's just a little something fun we like to do here with our community on the VegasDon channel. I'm a huge football nerd, so that's kind of something that I've always followed ever since I was a little kid. So really enjoy it and like to see how I would do, but no gambling involved whatsoever. This is again just for fun, for entertainment purposes only. Last week we went 10-5 on our picks straight up. And so that brings me to 47-29 on the season here for a 61% win percentage. So slightly better than break even. However, that's just straight up. Against that evil spread, I am 36-41 for a barely 47% win percentage, which puts me just under breaking even. So I have a lot of work to do in order to try and get above break even. Let's see what we can do here on week 7. And that kicks off Thursday night. Pittsburgh at Cincy. Pittsburgh's favored by 5.5 in this one in this AFC North collision. I like Pittsburgh on the road here in the division. I believe they will win. I think they will cover against a very weakened Cincinnati team. Over under 44.5. I see this staying under on that over under there. And then Sunday's games bring us the Rams at Jacksonville in Antarctica, or wherever it is they're playing this week. It's hard to keep up with all of the. It's like the NFL wants a team in every country all over the world. They want to expand their grasp, and then soon we'll have the Mars and Saturn teams coming up to play on Sunday mornings at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. But here we go. I think the Rams will win in this one since it's a neutral site. I think they will not cover. 3.5-point spread on this one. I could easily see this being a 3-point win for the Rams. However, I think the sportsbooks know this too, and that's why they set it at 3.5. Over under 44.5. I could see this being a little bit of a score fest. So I like the over here on the over under, and then that brings us back here to the States. Vegas is traveling into KC to take on the Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 12.5 in this one. Ordinarily, I'd say no, that's way too fat a line. And usually that is in the NFL. However, Vegas has all kinds of trouble scoring and putting the ball in the end zone. We saw this last week against Tennessee. They cannot score. And so they have the defense is what keeps them in the games. But unless they're playing like a high-powered offense like the Chiefs, the defense will keep them in some ball games. But this week, I don't see that being the case. I see KC winning. I see KC covering over under 45.5. I see this being actually a little bit over. I think this might be like a 38-10 type of final here for this one. Miami at Cleveland. Again, I'm a Dolphins fan, a much beleaguered Dolphins fan here. Miami is on the road in Cleveland. They're 2.5-point underdogs in Cleveland, not surprising. Over under 39.5, so they're not expecting a whole ton of scoring in this one. I like Cleveland at home. The Dolphins just, they find ways to lose games. Now, I want you guys to remember real quick back in I think it was 2019, right, when they were doing the Tank for Tua campaign. And remember Brian Flores, he was the coach of the Dolphins back then, and he told the owner, Stephen Ross, then told at that time Brian Flores, the coach, I'll pay you $10,000 for every loss that you get, based upon how the final score, of course. So Flores said no, he wasn't going to play ball, no pun intended. So he revealed that and leaked it to the media and everything. I wonder if Mike McDaniel has taken that same deal and said, okay, yeah, I'll take the 10 grand per loss. And they found ways to win. They found ways to lose. They have found ways to lose all season. I think Miami will lose. I think that Cleveland will cover. And I think this will probably stay under. I don't see there being a whole ton of scoring in this. But again, the same owner that there was there during the Tank for Tua, $10,000 per loss scandal. New England at Tennessee. New England, 7.5-point favorites on the road in Tennessee. I think New England will win. This line scares me a little bit, but I think they will cover. Over under 42.5. I see this going under. I don't see there being a whole ton of scoring in this one there in Nashville. And then that brings us over to Carolina, traveling up to New Jersey to take on the Jets of New York. Carolina is actually favored in this one on the road, 1.5-point road favorites over a winless New York Jets team. Over under 41.5. I see the Carolina Panthers winning this. The Jets are just a complete abomination at this point. I see them winning. I see them covering, and I think they might stay under on that over-under. Even though that's kind of a low over-under, I see them staying under on that 41.5. The Saints travel into the Windy City to take on the Bears. Bears are 4.5-point favorites in this one. I think the Bears will win. I think they will cover. And then I think that the 47.5 over under. I think that might stay under. I don't see there being a whole ton of scoring in this one either. And then that brings us to Philly at Minnesota. Now, this is my upset pick. I don't think Philly is going to be able to pull this off in Minnesota. This is just my sense. I might be wrong. I am often wrong, of course. But I think Minnesota will win outright and upset the Eagles there in Minnesota. 43.5 on the over-under. I think this could go over. I think there could be a little bit of scoring on this one. So I think that we'll stay with the over there. And that brings us to the late games. Indianapolis traveling across the country to take on the Chargers in Los Angeles or in Inglewood. Chargers favored by 2.5 in this one. This is kind of a scary pick, and this could easily go either way. The Chargers don't really have much of a home fan, domination, the 12th man kind of thing there. Again, the Chargers were from San Diego, and now they're plunked down there in LA, and it just, you do have a few of the powder blue jerseys there, but it's not the home field advantage that you would think it should be. Chargers favored by 2.5 in this one. I'm gonna go ahead and say that they will win and they will cover. Over under 48.5. I actually expect this to go over. I think there could really be a score fest there at SoFi Stadium. Giants traveling into the Mile High City to take on Denver. Denver's favored by 7.5 in this one. Over under 40.5. I believe the Broncos will easily win this game. I think they will certainly cover over the Giants, the 2-win New York Giants, and 40.5 on the over-under. I think this will probably stay under as well. GB travels across the country, the Green Bay Packers, to take on the Arizona Cardinals. I like Green Bay, even though they're on the road in this one. I think they'll win. I do not think they will cover, however. Line is 6.5. It's a little bit fat for my liking in this one. I can see this being a 3, maybe 4-point victory here for Green Bay. Over under a 44.5. I think this will probably stay under. We'll see if I'm right about that, but I'm going to take the under on that one. And then we have an NFC East matchup. Washington traveling into Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Cowboys are 1.5-point home dogs in this one. Over under a 55.5. So they are really expecting some scoring here. That's like a 29-27 type of final or something like that they're predicting. So I like Washington in this one. I think they will win. I think they will cover. But I don't think it'll go over that 55.5. I'm probably wrong on that. The bookmakers know a lot more than I do. But I like the under on that one. When I see an over-under up that high, it just scares me. So I'll take the under. I think Washington will win, and I think they will cover. San Fran with the nightcap against the Falcons. Falcons are at 3-2. Niners are at 4-2. Niners coming off that heartbreaking loss in Tampa Bay last week. I believe the Niners will win. They're favored by 2.5 in this one. I like them at home against the Falcons. I think they will cover. Over under 47.5. I think this might actually go over. I could see this being kind of a score fest too, especially after what Atlanta did to the Bills last weekend on Monday night. And then we have another doubleheader here on Monday night. Speaking of Mondays, Detroit hosts Tampa Bay. This is a scary line for me. I like Detroit at home. I think they will win. I think they'll bounce back from that loss at the Chiefs. But I don't think they will cover. The line here is 5.5. It really scares me. I could see this being a 3-point win for the Lions. So I think the Lions will win. I think they'll cover. They will not cover. They will not cover. Over under a 52.5. So they're expecting a little bit of scoring in this one. I'm going to go with the over. Very rarely do I ever go with anything on the over when it's over above 50 on the points total. But I like both offenses here. I think both offenses will put on a pretty good show here on Monday night. Detroit will not cover over on that over-under. And then the nightcap brings us Houston at Seattle in an interconference matchup. Houston is a 3.5-point road dog in this one. This one scares me too. I could easily see Seattle winning at home. I'm picking Seattle, but 3.5, that scares me. I think we could go under on that. I'm sorry, that we will not make that 3.5-point spread. I think they'll probably not cover that spread. 41.5 on the over-under. I'm inclined to take the over on this one. I think there could be a little bit of scoring in this one. So I'll go with the over on that one. Again, let me know your picks. Let me know where I completely went off the rails. And if you're keeping track at home, let me know your record. Drop me a comment and let us know how you're doing. As always, remember here on the VegasDon channel, it is the journey where what happens in Vegas stays right here on the VegasDon channel on YouTube. We'll see you soon.